Know this. Introducing the original blood clot podcast, not players. Soothing Semantics. Special dedication all the way from New York. Boom. Yeah man, SWOT Semantics. Yeah me now. Boom. Soothing Semantics. Yeah me now. Big ups to the man now. Soothing Semantics.
Welcome to another episode of Soothing Semantics. I am your host, Rafi Pinsky. Make sure to subscribe. Take a moment, hit the subscribe button, hit the bell so you're notified of all episodes. Smash the like button, leave your comments, negative or positive. We welcome them all. And today we have Mauro Stendel.
Nice pronunciation.
Yes. The Duvdevani, the Israeli Special Forces soldier. Brothers in arms. We're both in the Israeli army, so
right.
We always have that connection. And thank you for coming, bro. It's really a pleasure having you.
No, it's my pleasure to come.
Okay.
I owe you this. We were speaking about it for a long time, so
I've been seeing you a lot on the internet, mostly in Spanish. So
I
have no fucking idea what you're talking about.
I know, but it's like, listen, I'm putting a lot of work into it, and after a lot of research, I figure out that first I have to speak to my people in order to grow faster, and then, I'll transfer. I'm doing it slowly, like a transfer to English, but like I have to make sure I got a big audience in my language. Your people will respond faster, to you because they feel identified with you.
That makes that okay. It's interesting. I mean, I don't know. I only do it in one language. I just do it in English. It's because it's universal.
Yeah, but that's your people too,
Sure.
Like, my people is like, yeah, I'm Jewish, but like Argentinians and not hood, but like, like regular people, from Argentina that, for them, I'm like, wow, this kid from this neighborhood, now it's like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. You made moves and they relate to it.
Yeah.
So aside from the army, you've built a massive e-commerce brand, e-commerce company. And I want to talk to you about revenue and how much you're pulling in, if you're open to talking about that. I really want to know. I think everyone wants to know.
We'll talk about money, okay? Don't worry.
And how Leo Raz from Fauda is essentially copying you. How he's taken on.
No.
Okay, but you've built a massive brand. You have a book that you put out. How would you say it in Spanish? Tres fases.
Tres fases.
It sounds so much sexier than three phases.
Yeah.
I wrote a book called Three Phases, and you're like, listen, I wrote a book called Tres Fases. It's about an interesting the way of the warrior.
It's good.
It sounds much sexier. Tres Fases. Yeah. So anyway, so give me.
It's good that it's not tres fasos. Tres fasos.
No, I don't. What does that mean?
3 joints.
I mean, it wouldn't. I'm sure that would sell too, bro. A faso is a joint.
Un faso, yeah.
Okay. So you have your book.
I have my book.
And aside from the e-commerce and the book, I know you have some real estate, right? Because you mentioned Texas, real estate in Texas.
Yeah. I used to do wholesale real estate in Texas, in Austin. Now I moved back completely to Miami. It was a dark time for me. I was traveling to Texas, back and forth. I used to do 3 days here, 3 days Texas, 3 days here, 3 days Texas.
Wow.
Yeah, it was just a time where I was following money like crazy and nothing else mattered. I also invested that time in toxicology lab and PGX, which is pharmacogenetics laboratory in Houston. So I was living in Houston also in that time. I had an apartment in Brickell, and I was going to Houston. Brickell, Houston.
Where were you staying in Houston? You had an apartment there too?
No, I actually rented a 14-bedroom house.
When you say rented, you mean you had 14 other people or a bunch of other people?
No, it's just myself in a huge crib, 5 cars. And yeah, it was a dark time. It was completely a dark time. I mean, you gotta experience in order to actually understand that that's not life. But I'm glad I did it when I was 25.
How much are you paying for this?
Yeah, I used to spend probably like $30,000 in just like rents and payments and stuff like that.
Fucking balls, bro.
Yeah.
Holy shit! But you probably were having crazy ass parties too.
Yes, that
You're
too.
probably throwing down.
Yeah, that too. But it actually came to a point where I even had a panic attack when I discovered. Look, I was chasing money like crazy, and all of a sudden I had everything I want, any car, name it, like everything, you know. But then I realized, like, dude, what am I doing? Like, I'm 25. I'm by myself. Everybody who's here is not here because they love me. It's just because the party that I'm throwing, you know, or like, and it was really bad. It was, you feel like you have everything, but you have nothing at the same time. I
remember you spoke about that on Brad's podcast. I want to go into that. But what I want to kind of go into a little is your challenge that you had. But before that, even I remember when I saw you at K-Space. So K-Space, for whoever's listening, is just a Jewish kind of event for singles, and it's in the area here where I live. So I didn't see you in a long time, and this was maybe a year ago, and you had a McLaren, and I had no idea, just because I you and I, we didn't hang out that often. It's just I saw you here and there.
Yeah.
And then when I saw the McLaren, I was like, when the hell did you get that car? How did you get that car? I didn't even understand it because I didn't know you were making money. I just didn't know. And I was like, is he renting it? Is he like blowing all his money on it? I was like, what the hell's going on? I just couldn't understand. Because you don't meet people in their 20s, like Jewish guys usually. Like they usually don't, even if they could afford it, they usually are more like low key.
Well, but also they're like, I find like Jewish people are more like old money. You
said old money?
Yeah, I don't see too many Jewish kids that are willing to sleep in a car in order to build a brand,
No, they are not, because they don't have to.
Yeah, it's just like,
no,
Abba, can you please send me 5,000 for a trip to Israel?
Correct.
You know what I'm saying?
Correct.
Like,
It's more mostly generational wealth.
Yeah, it's mostly jobs.
Yeah, well, because they don't have to struggle anymore. Because they're their family.
Well, even if they could struggle and build their own brand and do something like for themselves. Look, I'm proud of being Jewish and all that, but there is a whole toxic ambient inside, and it's really hard to actually overcome those like judges and like judgments and like, no, you cannot do that because of you know what I'm saying? And
you're saying trying certain business ventures, you're going to get judged for it?
No, I'm saying like go sell drugs, but I'm saying like sleeping in a car, like if you go to a synagogue and let's say you go to K-Space and you're saying like, yeah, I'm at this point I'm surviving because I want to dedicate my 24 hours a day to my brand, so I don't want to work for nobody and I have no money, so I'm sleeping in my car. People will be like, you're crazy.
Right.
Which is true, you're crazy. But they will take it to the next level, they're all going to speak about it and they're all going to talk shit and you know what I'm saying?
That's
like,
so accurate.
Yeah.
But I think it comes from a good place, because here's what it is. If you're sleeping in your car, you have this inside feeling that like, I know what I'm doing, the position I'm in right now sucks, but I see a bigger picture.
Right.
I know what I can do, I know what I'm capable of, and I have to suffer now so I can get there.
Right.
But you know that about yourself. But people perceiving it from the outside, they're like, this dude's fucking crazy.
Right.
And they don't have the confidence in you that you have in yourself.
Correct. They don't see the vision that you have.
Right.
But they'll never see it. Only people, like if I know somebody now sleeping in the car, I know like it's different if it's by choice or if it's by needs, I didn't need to sleep in a car.
Right.
But when I know that somebody is willing to do that in order to actually improve, because let's say like that, when I finished in Duvdevan special unit, and there's a lot of crazy job opportunities. I also speak 4 languages. Like, it's a good, resume for actually a security company or, even Mossad. You know what I'm saying? I could do like really big stuff when I finished the army. But I wanted to do something for myself. I wanted to, be a millionaire, but like not like depending on like standing like this, like a security guard or stuff, or saving money.
How much could you make already as a security guard, even if you were in Duvdevan? How much are they going to pay you?
Well, you could go to Africa to, for example, protect gold mines. You can make like $15,000 a month, $20,000 a month, or you can go train armies. You can make a lot of money.
Mm-hmm.
You can make, it could get to like $20,000 a month. But you have to live 6 months in Sierra Leone. You know what I'm saying?
Fuck that shit.
Yeah.
The Congo. Sleeping with gorillas.
Yeah, you get malaria.
I'm okay with that. They would call you Malaria Stendel, God forbid.
Oh, that's funny. Yeah, but you know, and also I didn't plan to actually sleep in a car. I found a Jewish guy from Brooklyn that had a house for sale in Sheepshead Bay, and he let me stay there just so squatters don't get in.
Mm.
So I came. I had $500, and I went to the supermarket, and I survived in the army. You know, when you go to like places and you have to eat tuna cans.
Oh
and stuff
yeah,
like
the
that.
fields, the shetach, yeah.
So I said, fuck it, I'm gonna keep it like that. I'm a warrior. So I went to the supermarket. I saw tuna cans, vegetables. I could eat for $20 a week. You can really do it even with inflation. I'll take you to the supermarket. I'll teach you how to eat with $20 a week.
$20
a week.
It's crazy.
Tuna cans, vegetables, fruits. You can eat for $20 a week if you're surviving. You know.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna get your protein and then go to the gym. This is survive.
Right.
But the reason I took it to the to extreme is because I want it really fast. I want to succeed as fast as I can.
But isn't also a part of it is because you were in the army and you're not getting that adrenaline anymore in some fucked up way. As much as you don't want to be sleeping in a car, you want to be sleeping in a car. Meaning like you want to be able to tell yourself that you're tough enough to put yourself through it. Is there a part of that?
I mean, maybe yes. Like you feel like, oh, look, I'm tough, but it was just I really wanted to, as fast as I can, to finish with my goal.
Uh-huh.
And in order to do so, I understood I had to put everything aside. Everything. My mom was really sick. I couldn't see her last year, and I knew she was, gonna go. I don't know. I didn't know exactly when, but I knew it was in her last moment. I didn't go to my sister's marriage because I needed to be here. There's a lot of stuff that people don't see about entrepreneurs. Like,
yeah, dude.
You see like the McLaren, but you didn't know I slept for almost a year in my car. I didn't go to my mom last year.
No, bro. People don't see it because the reality is humans don't give a shit. Like, they don't give a shit about your struggle unless you get there.
Right.
Meaning, now that you got the McLaren, you succeeded. Now you could tell your rags to riches story, and everyone's like, "Wow!" Because they relate to it. They don't relate to the success part, but they relate to.
If they get to actually listen to you, because some people just look at the McLaren and say, "Oh, a drug dealer," or he's doing something illegal, or he's blowing all his money into that.
Yeah, that's what most people.
That's the first reaction. But you never get the reaction like, oh, this guy that has a McLaren, he actually, it's a regular Jewish kid, went to yeshiva or, and then to the university, and now he's working with his family. No,
right.
You never get that. So,
You never get it. But one thing I always liked about you, bro, is you were always a nice, like, humble dude. Like, even if maybe you had your own, pride moments and whatever. Whenever I met you and spoke to you, you were always like a guy I could get along with. I could always, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Even
but you're nice too. If you were stupid, I would like, shut the fuck up, bitch.
Because we both have a natural confidence where we don't have to, like, go out of our way to prove anything.
Right.
I think that's the truth. We're just, I can't afford a McLaren. I'll be very real with you. But I know that even when I can have the car, I think there's going to be a level of humility, because becoming wealthy, and I haven't made millions at all, but what I do know is even the things I've become good at, riches don't change you; they magnify you. They magnify the person you are. So if you're an asshole and you have money, now you're just a bigger asshole. That's what I believe.
Yes. But that's also a problem if you're really nice. And let me tell you something. I was always the nice guy.
Right.
Always. And I was really agreeable. Let's call it like that.
Yeah.
It's actually a theory from Jordan Peterson.
I know exactly.
Agreeable and disagreeable. So I was really agreeable and really nice. And when I had a lot of money in this dark time, I was extremely agreeable and really nice with money. So people couldn't be like... I remember one time in South Beach, I was with a Lamborghini Urus, $350,000 car, and the guy's like, "Oh, can you please take me?" Like, "Yeah, I'll help out," And I took a random guy to because he was on my way,
Right.
Who does that?
Right.
I didn't give a fuck. I gave him the experience. You know, I wanted to do something nice for the guy. And
I wanted the ride too.
yeah, you know, and like I gave a good experience, and I felt good about giving other. You know, I was taking care of making sure everybody's right, making sure like you're right. You need help. You call me like, hey, please pick me up at the airport 6 a.m. Dude, I have a meeting, but yeah, I'll take you. You know what I'm saying? I was the nice guy. And the problem when you're really nice and you get to the top, everybody's going to eat you alive.
Yeah.
They eat you raw. So it was a really dark moment because I was really agreeable with money. I was helping friends in Argentina to pay their bills. And I myself was fat as fuck, bald, didn't fix my teeth, you know, didn't take care of myself, you know, at all. I'm still a fatty, but not like as fuck, you know. But
Well,
I'm
first of all, you're a little bit smaller, so it doesn't distribute as easily.
right.
You know what I mean?
No, but like I was, you know, bigger, and
Yeah.
the reason is that I didn't prioritize myself. So money, yeah, you know, boost my being nice to people, and then I discovered that it's a mistake. You should not be nice to people. You should be nice to yourself.
Yeah, I think there's a balance. I think I've been able to. So I don't have a problem saying no to people. I'm okay with that. I'm not so agreeable, to be honest. I'm not. I'm nice to people that I feel I can trust and be nice to. If I get the feeling that they're going to try to get one over on me and they're going to take my niceness for weakness, I sense it very quickly and I'll shut it down.
Well, that's a talent.
Yeah.
I had to work on it. I had to read books about
bro,
it.
I did work on it because I.
Oh, you
wasn't
worked
always,
on it?
I wasn't always like that.
But you know, there's people that have it from they're born. They literally have this talent about knowing.
I think it's parenting, bro. I think it's mostly parenting. What were your parents like? Were they more agreeable?
I don't know, man. I was like always in the streets. Like, I'm not speaking about my dad. Or like I had everything I wanted, but I just always chose the the streets. I was a guy. Yeah, I like to like be around this. I don't know, man. My mom was sick.
But did your father have a decent amount of money, or he was?
When I was born, yes, and then he went down a little bit. I started working when I was 15. I was delivering ice cream with my bicycle.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, and yeah, man, I don't know. I just chose.
Real quick, Mauro. I know you had Bradley had you on his podcast, but you and I are gonna have a much better conversation. I hope you're ready for that, Brad.
I mean, we're talking.
I don't know if he gives two shits, but he's like, okay, Rafi, great. You know how he is.
You know, I had now. I did with Wolf of Wall Street too. Last week.
You went on his show?
I went to his house. No, I did my show and I interviewed him.
That's amazing. Bro.
Yeah, it's cool. Yeah.
That's amazing, bro. If there's some way that you could hook it up, that would be unbelievable.
I'll try. But like.
But I gotta know. Did you pay him?
No, but I did a good strategy. Yeah, I have. I think it about like chess. You know, my dad was a chess enthusiast, and I also speak about the three phases. The last phase, like, so the first one is no way back, right? Create no return, burn your boats. Right. The second is like not mimicry, but you have to blend in. If you want to be this, then be like them, bro. Like, get around these people, learn from them, stuff like that. And the third one, it's like variables, variables like sure. Could be this or could be that, right? So in chess, you have that because if he plays this, you play that,
right. Different outcomes, different
so
options. Yeah.
If you are able to learn the whole variables, that's how you pronounce it? How you pronounce
variables? Yeah.
Variables. If you learn all of them in one game, there's no room to mistake. The only reason why a computer can, if you like the perfect computer, can actually beat any human being, it's because it has all the variables saved. What's the best move if he moves this? What's the right? Mm-hmm. So that's how the computer wins, because he has all the variables. There's no room to mistake at all. Now, I'm in my career of where I'm trying to go or where I'm trying to get. I'm thinking about chess too, and I'm also learning all the variables all the time. If this happens, then what I will do, mm-hmm. and then if that happens, then how I'll do it. Then I wanted to be on Bradley's podcast, and I did it because I found a way to do it. And look, man, at the point, let's say I wanted to be on Bradley's podcast. I did the one strategy and it worked. But I had so many strategies. Like, what will happen if Bradley goes to his office and there is a guy outside sitting with a, lock in the chair and hunger strike until I'm in your podcast? Wouldn't you think he's going to get me on? Like, come right now, bro.
You were willing
Don't
to
die.
Do that. You were willing to do that.
If you want, yeah, man.
I think, bro, I love this because this is the shit that separates people who get what they want. Literally, their brains come up with this crazy ass idea that 98% of people would never try, and like literally, if you tie your fucking hand to his chair, he's gonna do it.
And you put hunger strike until I'm in Bradley's podcast. Day one, like that's a strategy too, man.
Yeah, 100%.
And I learned it in Israel. Chutzpah, there's no way you don't get what you want.
Right.
No way. There's no way. They kick you out, come from the window. Like, they do like that,
It's kind of annoying, though, how everything is a fucking fight there, bro.
I know.
Everything.
But it's amazing, too, man. Bro, I learned so much. Like, in Israel, I learned, like, you want to be first in the emails? Mm-hmm. Send the email 8:59. So then when the person comes 9 a.m., you'll be first.
Oh, that's smart.
All this kind of stuff I learned in Israel. Oh, that's smart. That's a guy.
That's fucking brilliant.
Yeah.
That's so
when you want to send a resume or something, 8:59.
Oh my God, I got to tell my buddy to do this because I'm trying to get some of that money from the army. And my buddy in Israel right now sent an email to Misrad B'Tachon, and it's going to take them fucking like 2
do it
weeks.
8:59.
That's fucking crazy.
Every day, 8:59. 10 emails. Fax too, 8:59, 10 fax. I used to do that all the time. Calls, 8:59, all the time. Because army, it's 9 a.m.
Yo, that's amazing. Thank you for that. That's
No
great
problem.
advice. Yeah. No, but yo, in terms
I have more tips like those.
In terms of getting what you want, bro, everything's a fight, man. You go to the bank, they tell you to take a ticket, fuck the ticket. You just cut the whole line. Because if you don't cut the whole line, everybody else is going to cut you. And you sit there waiting for fucking who knows how long. Which it's good that it teaches you these survival skills, but the system is stupid, bro. Like, they need to fix their bureaucracy to some degree. You walk into a bank in America, you walk into Chase, you sit down, you have a candy, they treat you like a king, they ask you what you need. Like, I understand it might make you softer, but at the end of the day, bro, sometimes I just want to walk into a fucking bank and be treated like a normal person. You know what I'm saying?
Really?
Like,
I prefer to be treated like shit, but the things get taken care of, Sometimes in America, they treat you good and they don't do shit. Oh, I'm sorry. I apologize, but next business day. Now it's Friday. Oh, so I have to come back Monday, 9 a.m. in order, instead of like, yalla, get ready. Go, get the fuck out. I prefer that.
I guess. I don't know, man.
No?
They don't always get done what you want them to get done. Not always. You can oftentimes, if you know how to make a big enough issue about it, it'll get done, but sometimes they'll say we can do nothing about it anyway. So I don't know.
And the problem is when you apply these Israeli techniques on a really, really American thing, like soft and candy giver, it rejects really bad. For example, I got banned from Bank of America from doing that. You want to hear how? I can tell you. So I was investing in this Medic Lab. I had to transfer $187,000. Now I had to do it really fast because the people needed the money to start the business. And there were already moves and transfer that I had to do, and time was really of the essence. So I opened an LLC because every time I get into a business, I don't get myself personal. I get myself with an LLC. Mm-hmm. So my partnership, it's under one LLC. That's how I do my umbrella. So I put money on that LLC, and then I wanted to wire transfer to their account, like, hey, here's the capital that I'm giving, $187,000. Now, I did the wire. It didn't let me do it online. Fuck, now I have to go to the bank. I don't know why. So I go to the bank, and they tell me, well, I'm sorry, we're not able to verify you because the bank account is brand new and your paperwork is not in the system yet. My account was 1 week old.
Okay.
I opened the bank account a week before. So I said, okay, but that's not my problem that you cannot verify me. You have to find a way to verify it because it's my money and you're holding it against my will. Because if right now I want to close my bank account and get a cashier check, you're not able to do so because you cannot verify me. And that's holding my money against my will.
Mm-hmm.
In any situation that you can in a free country get your money and close the account, you should be able to do so.
Right.
Oh no, I'm sorry, I cannot give you your money because I cannot verify you. What the fuck is that?
Right.
You know, that's your problem. Find a way. No, we cannot do that. You know? So I said, okay, this is wrong. And when something is wrong, I'm really a guy that goes like all the way.
Mm-hmm.
So I said, okay, how do I escalate this? I was already the manager of the only person that can actually help is the banker in where they open your bank account, because that's where they have the paperwork. They didn't put it in the system. So I call the bank. The manager tells me like, oh yeah, but I need the regions, what's the name? Like the whole region of South Florida market leader to approve this, and she always gets back in within 48 hours. And no way.
You drive over to her house. You find her.
No, I was in Texas.
You smash the window.
I was in Texas, but you know these apps where you can find people's numbers?
Yeah.
So I look at her name and the zip code in Miami, and I found her. And I called her. Cynthia Fernandez was her name.
Mm-hmm.
So, hey, this is Cynthia at Bank of America. She was like, yeah? It's like, hey, how are you? My name is Mauro. I have this problem. It's like, hold on. This is my personal number. How did you get it? And I said, I'm a really good connected person. She said, okay. And then she helped me everything. She did everything. And then a week after, they told me I'm banned forever. I cannot open a bank account in the Bank of America because I took it to that point of calling a region, the whole Florida region.
But they did what you wanted.
Yes, but then they banned me forever.
Because instead of following the system, you fucked
Correct.
the whole thing.
I didn't do anything illegal.
Right.
But I called the whole region, Florida personal number in order to do the transaction I wanted. So I got what I wanted, but I got banned forever for Bank of America.
Right.
They closed all my accounts, everything. They only let me keep one because we had a good balance, motherfuckers. You know?
what else is new? But yeah, they didn't like how you know.
Sorry, it was a long story, but I wanted to tell you.
It was good. So, bro, go back to you know, and let's not harp on this too long. And I do want to hear it, but people are going to want to hear a lot about like how you've built your businesses. Give it. So you're in your car. You're in this car. You're in New York.
Mm-hmm.
How long were you in the car? You know, give us the whole story of
okay.
like how you got out of it.
So I first lived in this abandoned house.
Mm-hmm.
I had $500, so I had said $20 a week. I have 25 weeks to make money. If I don't make money in 25 weeks, I'm stupid. Then I needed a place to sleep. I went to this house that the guy gave me, and there was no mattress. So I had to buy an air mattress. It was $60. So now I have 22 weeks to make money because it was $20 a week. So then what I started doing was actually at the beginning, and didn't really work. I was doing wholesale real estate. I was going to court in Queens, going to court in Brooklyn and Manhattan. Here is probate. In New York, it's called surrogate court. Mm-hmm. I used to go check the last 6 months, whoever died, and then all these people that died the last 6 months, who owned, who rented to the garbage. I'm sorry, who owned, who's the heir, who's going to get the property. What's the case looking like? Like, how is it advancing? Is he about to get the house, or what's the house? Where is it? What are the comps? And try to offer, lowball them so you can, fast closing, 30 days, all cash, and try to give it to Israeli investors that I knew in the time. The problem is that it wasn't working. It wasn't really working. I was doing cold calls like crazy, visiting, people, going like speak to like future like heirs and stuff like that, and it was really bad. I was hungry. It was cold. It was really not a good situation for me. But I knew it will. I had hope, and that's everything. That's the last thing you lose, the hope. So once a month, I used to fly with friends of the IDF, FIDF, volunteer. You know, they didn't pay me salary. They paid my ticket and the food to speak. They took me to 17 states. So once a month, twice a month, they used to fly me, and I used to speak about my story. How without knowing Hebrew, I went to Duvdevan, and you know all this story. So when I spoke in Miami, I met Sam. Sam, who now is a wealth manager in Morgan Stanley. He's number 9 in Florida by Forbes. He was in Duvdevan when he was a kid. He was a lone soldier too. And he came to America with nothing, and now he's, you know, a shark. Let's call it like that. Well, he knew, and I didn't say I'm a shark. So he knew, yeah, I'm not a shark, you know, I'm not yet. But I told him, like, hey, you know, I moved here. You know, I'm trying to start my real estate business. Didn't ask for help at all, because when you ask, it's like a favor, you know. And my theory is that if you want somebody to help you, make sure they feel identified with you. Make sure they know you're one of them. So when they do that, they'll help you because they think you deserve it, instead of just doing you a favor. And they will ask nothing in return, and the return will be your succeed. That will be like, you know, because you may let them feel like you're one of them. So how I cannot make somebody feel like I'm one of his, when I was a lone soldier in Duvdevan like him, you know, and he came to America with nothing like me. And so when I go back to New York, he starts calling me every morning. And in that time, it was really rough. I didn't have money to let my gas overnight, like car on. You know, the car, it was like $20 a night if I keep it on the whole night, just to be with the heat, you know. So I was sleeping with like 5 jackets on me, you know.
Damn, bro.
Because it was really cold. It was freezing. And
I remember this, by the way.
yeah, and then he calls me and he's like, are you sleeping in your car? Like the 5th day, I'm answering like, you know. And I said, yeah.
How did he realize? From video, no?
Yeah, from FaceTime.
Right.
I guess like after 5 days of answering like with 5 jackets in my car, he understood that I'm sleeping there.
But yeah, here's the thing. If you didn't want him to know, then why did you do FaceTime? Why didn't you just call him?
I don't know, man.
Was there a part of you that wanted him to find out in some weird
I
way?
don't know. No, I don't think so, man. I wasn't like answering like, hi, you know, like, you know what I'm saying? It wasn't like that. It was, I don't know. I think he's a really smart guy.
Yeah.
And he understood maybe by our conversations that I was, you know, I never asked for money, never asked for anything. But I think he understood, you know, and you know, he struggled before, so he knows. Like, struggle, recognize struggle. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, for sure.
So I think he knew, and he told me that. So then he told me, no, you can sleep in my couch, but don't die from being cold, you know, from a hypothermia or something like that. So he got me a ticket to Miami, and I was sleeping in his couch. That's probably when I met you. And I was doing real estate with him.
I guess, was that when I met you?
I don't know. That's when I met. A month after I moved to Sam, that's when I spoke in K-Space, and then, you know, I was sleeping at Sam's couch.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
You never know, bro. You never know with people.
No, I never show your weakness.
100%, yeah.
Especially in a Jewish place. They'll eat you alive. Anyways, yeah, so I started going to court here, and you know, and trying to get deals here, but at least now I had food and I had a place to sleep, you know. It was better conditions. The problem is that after 2-3 weeks, I couldn't find any deal, man. It was really hard. I don't know why. I couldn't find the formula. And somebody was trusting on me, giving me food, and like I didn't feel good with that, you know. I felt like a failure. For the first time in my life, I feel like I'm failing. Like, I'm failing. I'm a total failure. You know, I didn't see my mom for this last year. She before she died, didn't go to my sister's wedding, and now I'm not like what the fuck? I'm a failure, you know. So then I started banging my head in the shower, you know. like this.
Like literally doing that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember. By the way, I remember this from Brad. I listened to the whole episode with him.
Oh, really?
So I remember. You know, I just want you to tell it again and have everyone.
No, that's fine. And then I probably from one big like this, you know, because I really felt like a failure, man. It was really bad. My ideas went like, you know, and then I put on Google, I need to sell my house fast. You know, and I called the first. I said, "Wow, there's people doing this professionally." You know, actually. So I started calling them and say like, "Hey, I don't want to sell my house. Maybe you have cheap houses I can buy." You know, guys. So I knew Sam was willing to invest with me. I will do the work, and you know, and they started. Yeah, I'll add you to my investor list. The wholesalers say. So now it's, oh, fuck, this is a thing, actually. So then I start calling everyone, and then I realized, look, it wasn't my money. It was Sam's money. But I am the money in this business. You know, like, why am I doing, you know, if every business has capital, sweat equity, and know-how. But why am I doing everything? If I have the capital, I should reduce the others, you know? So I work smarter, not, you know, it's not my money, but I should act like I'm the money.
Right.
So then all these people started sending houses, and instead of me doing cold calls and doing the hard work, trying to find one house, now I have all these people trying to sell me a house. You understand? So now I could grab this house, do the comps, see, okay, how much was it sold, how much houses like this were sold with the same size, or, you know, okay, what work needs to be done, how much will be, okay, perfect, this is a good deal, whatever. So now I could come to Sam with like, hey, here are different, instead of, you know, nothing, you know, and I, hey, what you think? So then a guy also named Ariel, Israeli guy, he helped me a lot also find the house and everything. He had experience. And I met him in K-Space. And that's how I did my first house. After the third week, you know, we found the house and we bought for $137,000 in Delray Beach. So I used to drive every morning to Delray Beach. And we finished in 3 months. We sold for $250,000. That was my first money.
How much did you make from it?
Half. Well, the investment was like $35,000 probably, fixing the house. $137,000 for another, let's say $170,000, $180,000 was the cost. We sold for $250,000 minus 6% of the brokers. That's probably I made like, I don't know, $12,000, $15,000.
So it was a flip.
Yeah.
Okay.
But that was my first check.
Very nice. You must have felt like you were able to swim above water now.
Well,
you were surviving.
Look, I worked 3 months for $15,000. That's not really a good deal, but bro, I worked my ass off.
Wow.
The day of the closing, before it was closing, I already was fixing the house myself. I have a picture with like no skin from like hammering and.
Why though? Why don't they didn't hire people? Why are you doing that?
I hired people too, but bro, like somebody trusts me their money from the first time. There's no room to mistakes.
Right.
Myself was like crazy. I even slept there sometimes, you know.
Damn, bro. Okay.
It was really for me, you know. I didn't want to fail. I couldn't fail.
But even so, the stuff, the fixes weren't ready in time. Why are you there nailing stuff into the wall?
Because if you put subcontractors, they take all your profit. So instead of hiring somebody to do the floors, I'll do the floor myself. I'll just pick up, you know, 2 immigrants in Home Depot and bring them with me and like tell them what to do. Watching YouTube videos and stuff. I did everything. The only thing I called subcontractors was for the AC and for the marble. Nothing else. All the rest was me. I lifted the floor. I did the bathroom. Everything. Tiles. Everything I did.
And you didn't know how to do it before?
Well, but YouTube... Man, there is people don't know how to read and do marble. Cannot you do that? You know what I'm saying?
So the investors knew that you were doing all this
No,
work
only
yourself?
Sam was the only investor.
Really? And so he's just like, okay, you do all the work yourself?
Yeah.
Just so the deal would work? Because otherwise the deal wouldn't have worked?
Well, we wouldn't have profit. Like the subcontractor ready to like, hey, here's your key. Hey, everything is ready. We'll take longer and we'll take $50,000. You know, and where's your money?
Damn. Yeah, but I mean, there's flips that you can do where you hire people and you still make the money.
Well, yeah, but you got to buy extremely cheap.
Wow, that sounds crazy.
Or the property has to go extremely up, you know.
Okay, but this wasn't a long-term solution for you. You kept doing this for a bunch of deals?
Well, I did that. Then we did another one. And then I said, okay, I need fast money. Now I met a person, driving Lambos, and he sold a boat to at the end he was a completely scam, but he sold one boat to my friend in Boca. He used to live in Delray
Beach.
Beach.
A scam how?
Well, that's what he do. He's, for example, look, you'll see this extremely rich guy, right? And let's say you want to buy a boat, and he has an extremely nice boat, worth like 180,000, for example. And he'll tell you he's extremely rich, and he looks extremely rich, and so fucking everything is like, what the fuck, And when you're poor and you see that, you're like, what, He take you eat, whatever, and then he tell you like, you want my boat? Yeah, I'll sell it to you. Just give me 10,000, I'll give it to you. I don't care. I have to go to Monaco for a few months, and when I'll be back, we'll figure it out. Just use it for now. So you give the 10,000, for example, 20,000, whatever it is. He gives you the boat actually, and then he disappears for 2 months. And then after 2 months, your car, let's say it was a Ferrari or a boat, gets towed. And then you're like, what the fuck? This guy took the car or the boat back, And then if you take him to court, he will say like, yeah, I was trying to sell my car to him, but I regret. It's like, okay, he gave you a down payment of $10,000. He'll be like,
so it was a down payment.
Yeah, but like he will be
I
like,
thought you were just borrowing it for like however long he was away.
No. Like he's gonna give it to you. That's the promise.
The plan. Okay, but he's going away, so take it for now, and then we'll
figure it out. Don't worry.
Okay.
And he's like, what? For 10,000, I get to drive a Lamborghini for 5 months, whatever. He never did it to me. I didn't have any money in that time, but he was doing that to like middle class people. So then you get the Lambo, you get the boat, whatever it is, and then after 1 month he tows it. And when if you take him to court, he'll say like, yeah, I was trying to sell the car to him, but I regretted that. At the end, I don't want to sell it to him. So then you ask for your money back. He's like, what do you mean my money? Money back? You kept the Lamborghini for 3 months, whatever, right? I could rent that for $1,500 a day. You should owe me money, That's what he will tell you. So eventually that boat sale was something like that. But
well, if you kind of think about it, why did he do that? How does it benefit him? Why doesn't he rent it out for a lot more money?
Well, it's easier to just scam people. You have no liabilities, no nothing, no risk.
Right, but I'm saying like if you have a Lamborghini, you can and someone's using it for $10,000 and driving it for 3 months. Why doesn't he just rent it regularly? Why doesn't he?
No, it's not 3 months. It's like a month and a half.
Even so, you could rent a Lambo to somebody for $1,500 a day.
Yeah, but like you have the liability, you have the risk, you have the headache of actually doing the work and renting it out. You have maintenance. In the car rental is not just like money. It's
okay. Well, and what would happen technically if you crashed a car? In his situation,
I don't really understand what he did.
I don't. How does that a long-term solution? How did he always find people? How did he always have people?
Always, he put the car in offer app and do that. For example, he used to do that a lot. Anyways, he actually grew really big into scam. He took it to the next level. Now I think he's getting a class action suit, like a really big one. So what he started doing that is also he started scamming people with Amazon, and that's what I actually get in the picture, because I really wanted to sell on Amazon, because I knew that after 2-3 weeks you get your money after you sell products. So I invested with him. It was our first store actually. It was really good. It was selling, and then we had to add more money to actually get more products to sell.
You didn't know he was scamming people.
No, of course I didn't know at all. And I also my first the real estate and business is completely different. Like you're not a businessman. If you own real estate and you invest in real estate, you're an investor. You're not a businessman. Mm-hmm. Business, there's a whole completely thing. Non-compete, non-circumvention, NDA, all these things about business, that how you move. It's completely different about real estate. And I was coming from real estate. I didn't know nothing. I opened an LLC with him. I didn't know about operating agreement contracts. A little bit, but not like too much. So I didn't see exactly what was going on. I didn't have money for lawyers, you know. So eventually we opened a store. We had money, you know, to actually buy products, and he stole everything. He stole the money. Now, he stole the money in a way that is not criminal. It's civil court, you know.
He took all your money.
He took the money, yeah.
How much did you get put in?
Like 40,000.
And was that most of your money?
It was everything I had.
Really?
Yeah.
Fuck.
Yeah. Anyways, but now he took my money. But now I learned from him how to do the business, because the business was right. It was a stupid asshole, but the business was right. So then I started myself. And I started actually doing that myself. You know, bringing people.
So this was the story that you were telling Brad about the guy that you didn't sign those agreements and he left you.
No, that's after.
So you got fucked
through Rabbi Yossi. I meet two religious people from Sunny Isles. They come to me that I was supposed to sell them stores, so they invest with me. They convinced me to partner up with them. I partner up with them eventually, and I teach them all my business, and I show them my employees in Bangladesh, and we start doing massive stuff. I start teaching their employees stuff so we can scale. And then when I realized, a person told me like, bro, they're fucking you. Like, you have no, they anytime now you have all your know-how, they have everything. Like,
they could just cut you out and keep doing what, you know.
And that's what they did eventually. When I asked for a contract, and they gave me a contract that was really stupid and really, you know, Mauro is stupid and we're good, whatever. And I told them like, hey, at least give me a non-compete.
When you saw that contract, did you know right away, or did you have?
Yeah, I know that. That time I knew right away. He was looking really stupid. Like, we can do this, you cannot do that. You know, that was the contract. Oh, like, at least give me a non-compete. That was Friday. And I told him like, no, we cannot give you a non-compete. We're doing this also. Bullshit. They were like losing money. I saved their business. So and then I told them like, that's not negotiable. Oh, now I feel like I'm a business guy. I said non-negotiable. And then they told me, yeah, well, let us think about it. And then Shabbat, and then Sunday, and then Monday my key didn't work. They changed the lock. Yeah, and I called them and said, yeah, you said it's not negotiable, whatever.
Oh, so they got nasty with you.
Yeah.
So they took it as a threat, and they're like, oh, you want to threaten us?
Yeah.
Fuck you. Yeah.
But nasty. I know they karma got them really good, so I'm happy.
How so?
I don't want to talk about it.
They got arrested?
No. I'll tell you after recording.
But this is part of agreeableness, is like, if you're very agreeable and you have this kind of good feeling about other people, and they see that on you, and they're the kind of people that are going to try to one-up you or fuck you, they'll do it. And then as time goes on, you need to learn, like, okay, and I'm not saying you obviously learned it, but it's like, you start to learn that, okay, this person's like this, that person's like that, and you get better at it. But even when you're not so agreeable, if you don't know what's going on, even if you would argue the point or stand up for yourself, but you just don't know what's going on, right. You don't know the terms of the contract, you don't know what things mean. So if you don't have enough knowledge on the subject, even if you would normally, like I said again, stand up for yourself, they could still fuck you. So it's like a combination of not being a pushover and actually knowing what's going on. Right.
That's right. But I learned by the hard way, like Brad says. I learned the hard way. A lot of lessons, and now I consider myself I'm good, like, for business myself. Like, I even tell lawyers like, hey, do this, do that, instead of like, what should I do? Mm-hmm. Yeah, but that's experience, man.
Yeah, bro, it takes experience. How old are you now? 27?
I'm 27, yeah.
Okay, so a little younger than me. It's wild.
How old are
28.
you? 28.
Yeah. It's
good.
Indeed.
Anything between like 25 and 30, I think it's a good age, because you're still young, but like now you're smarter,
Yeah, bro. I learned so much since I'm 20, 21, even since I'm a teenager. But these past couple of years, bro, like, past 3-4 years was when I really shifted my mindset, because I used to, I grew up poor, so I always was afraid to spend money. I was so afraid to spend money. I was always holding on to my money, saving it. But saving money is not going to make you rich.
No.
You need to put it out there. You need to spend it. You need to
Invest.
allow it to make you money. And when you're, from the lower class or even the middle class, your mentality is you make whatever you make, you have your job, you have your boss, you make your 40, 60, even 100K, and then you have to put it aside for when you're 70. It's like you're never going to really have the money you need to really be free. You're always going to be, money's always going to hold you down. And it took me, took a mindset shift to really say, you know what? I don't want to take money away from me, but the only way that I'm going to drastically change anything is if I'm willing to risk it and spend money to buy my time back, to hire somebody, to pay for a CRM, to pay for a podcast editor, to pay for a dialer for my calls, to pay for email marketing, to all those other things, pay for a cleaning lady, which I don't happen to not do yet, but all these things is like, paying for efficiency. Instead of even going to a barber shop, you pay a barber more money, he comes to you, whatever the case is, but just all these little things to buy your time back so you could do the shit you're good at and the shit you want to do. And that's what I'm understanding. And I never had that mentality growing up.
That's good you have it now.
Yeah, bro. Now I'm just focusing on constantly, building and learning, getting punched in the face, getting back up again, and getting slapped in the face, getting back up again. Just that until you learn to see that slap coming, so you move out of the way and you can fucking, you know what I mean?
Right.
That's how I'm seeing it. Yeah.
That's good.
Yeah, bro. Thank you. It takes time, though.
Yeah.
It takes time.
Lessons you learn the hard way.
It takes a lot of. Did you read Brad's book?
I did.
What'd you think of it?
I like it. I think I'm also a hard way learner.
That's the best way, bro. It's the best way. Because like when people tell you stuff,
I just prefer to experience, And when I don't like actually trusting somebody's word. Oh yeah, he said it's hard, so I'm not gonna try. No, fuck it. I'm gonna try myself, and see if it's hard or not.
Right.
And I think it's a part of ego. If you have it high, you want to try things yourself because you think you can do things that other people cannot.
Mm-hmm.
So when you have that, like feeling that you can do things others not, then you're gonna try to do anything you want.
100%. But you know what? Everyone shits on ego, and I don't like the word ego necessarily. But being a prideful person, it has its benefits, man. Like, of course, it can be to a detriment. It can be bad if you treat people badly or if you think you're the most amazing person in the world. But on the flip side of it is if you're a very, very confident person and even egotistical to some degree, that's when you have this belief of I can do whatever I fucking want, whatever I set my mind to.
Right.
And people hate on that. A lot of people hate on that because they're like, how do you have the audacity to think you're that capable of a person?
Right.
And it's like, because I fucking do. Because I've tried a few things. I fucked up, but then I figured it out. And if I just if I take that over to something else, it might take me a while. It might not happen right away, but I'm going to get it at some point.
Right.
And then eventually you keep, and I'm not talking, like I said, I'm not rich. But I know these things are true. Because I know that from the things I have been able to get good at, it's just a matter of taking those skills, bringing it over to something else. They're not necessarily going to be the same. They'll require different skills and different knowledge. But eventually, you start to get good at so many things that you can become even better at other things faster.
Right.
So like take The Rock. I use this as an example. The Rock, the actor and whatever. He wasn't always rich, obviously. Started out wrestling, doing all this other shit. Bro, if he opens up a fucking green cup company, he'll kill it. Because he's The Rock already. He's built himself up to such a degree where his name will sell anything.
Correct.
Anything.
Personal brand is really important.
His personal brand will sell him anything. He wants to put his face on this cup. It'll become an extremely successful cup company. Done. Right? But I can't do that because I don't have that kind of brand yet. And I haven't done enough things, gone through enough ventures to be in that position. But that's it. That's all he has to do. It's crazy. Right?
It's amazing.
Isn't it true? But
that's why I'm investing in personal brand.
Right. So
a lot.
So what are some of your personal brands?
No, like my name, that sharing my story, writing a book.
You're saying becoming a brand.
Yeah.
Right.
So then everything I touch, it's going to be money.
It's amazing, right?
That's my goal. Money.
Right.
Money.
It's crazy.
money.
So yo, what was okay? So you now after you got fucked by these Sunny Isles guys, what happens next?
Then other people that got fucked by them reach out to me because they knew I'm the know-how, and we started again.
Mm-hmm.
And then I started myself this time too, just not giving a fuck about partners and just be myself.
Mm-hmm.
And that's when money came, because then the pandemic actually started. And by the pandemic, I had 127 stores that I was managing.
Oh wow. Okay.
In Amazon, and man, it was really big. Yeah, it started those times when I don't know. It was
What were you
crazy.
selling? What kind of products were you selling?
Everything. I sold many things for cleaning the house during beginning the pandemic. Then hair clippers during like April, May. And then dumbbells for June, July, because people started working out really hard. It was a thing. Remember, like during the pandemic, after a few months, people were like, "How's working out?" You know?
the house workouts. Yeah.
And then, what's the most popular product that I sold during the pandemic in like September?
Sex toys.
Well, not sex toys, but spermicide. It's
Interesting.
a cream that you put in your poo-poo and kills sperm.
Cream you put on your poo-poo.
I sold so much money of it,
Okay. Wait, you put it in the vagina.
Yes.
Right, and it kills off the.
Yeah, poo-poo is vagina, pee-pee is penis.
Dude, you got to give me the Latin.
No,
Latin slang.
pussy, like poo-poo. Pussy is poo-poo.
When I think
and
of
then
poo-poo,
penis is pee-pee.
Okay, but I'm American. When I think of poo-poo, I think of what comes out of your butt. That's what I think of.
Yeah, but like if
No, I know like the Jamaicans say pum pum.
really,
Yeah, I hear that. I hope any Jamaicans
I like how they
that,
say
though.
cucumber, cucumba,
Cucumba.
cucumba,
Puta cucumba. Yeah, it's great.
cucumba.
Okay, so now you're making all this money. How much revenue? How much are you pulling?
Man,
in, bro?
during the pandemic, I had months making like 300, 400K. It was really big.
And what was your net profit?
Oh, that's really hard for me to calculate. I never know.
You never know.
Like, it's just always rolling. I know my revenue is really good.
But even right now, you have your stuff on autopilot. It's just you still have your Amazon.
Yeah,
right?
but it's really hard for me to calculate the profit exactly because every month it's reinvesting in them. I can tell you exactly my revenues. I know them by heart, but like net profit. Look, also like some months there's more returns. And sometimes I lose more money because there is more returns, and it's a problem for me to calculate actually the return.
Okay. Do you have a lot of people, like friends and people that invest with you, or is it mostly you and you have employees and yada yada?
Before I was more like investors. Now I'm myself. I don't need people now.
You don't even want it.
But I always have, like for fun, for sport. I have my friend. He lives in.
Honestly, I mean, we'll talk off podcast more. But I've always kind of wanted to get into Amazon. But there's always so many people talking. I watch these videos and YouTube videos and different people just talking about do it this way, do it this way, do it that way. So I always was just so overwhelmed by how many different opinions there are
Right.
that I never really got into it. But like if I knew I had somebody that really knew how to do it and I could give him X amount of money and understand it, then it would be dope, because I just always like the idea of that
Right.
money coming in. Pretty much
That's
it.
good.
Indeed.
There's a lot of free information.
There is, yeah.
I used to give a lot of free information because I used to think like, if they teach, it's because they don't know. If
Right.
they will know, they'll do it themselves.
Right.
So I'm going to teach for free so people know that I know for real.
Mm-hmm.
But then it was just, I understood that whoever is giving free information, honestly, is because they don't believe that they could sell their knowledge. And it's lack of confidence.
I mean,
I'm not saying about giving a little bit, but if you do like a whole course, 14 hours for free to people, like, bro, you're a prostitute.
yeah, what's interesting? I totally hear that, but it's so many.
You're a
different-
knowledge pimp.
You think I'm a whore?
Everyone's a whore, Bryce. We just sell different parts of ourselves.
There's so many differing opinions though, because like for instance, there's this real estate coach in Alabama, and he gives like tons of free coaching, but the dude's killing it. I mean, I'm sure if he was charging for it, he'd make a lot more money. But I don't know. It's interesting because like when you have these free coaches in sessions, people are much more likely to check. Well, I don't know about that. I don't know.
Well, one thing it's giving free value to build in order to sell something at the end, which is probably, if he's smart, what he's doing, like Gary Vee did, giving free, and then you sell.
Yeah.
Which is also a theory. Or you have like Grant Cardone theory, which like you start selling right away, It's two extremes. But if somebody's just giving free, and keeps giving like extremely real value for free, like, bro, this is knowledge prostitute,
Right. You feel like, well, what are you doing? You got to charge something. Yeah.
Before it's too late.
Right.
Because then you'll be the guy that gives free content. Oh, now we have to pay you. Fuck you.
Yeah. Yeah, true. That makes perfect sense. You got to, if you're going to do it, you got to do it somewhat early.
Yeah.
Before
you got to take the step.
Right.
It is a thing because once you get like so agreeable that you're so nice and giving free knowledge,
everyone expects it
to take that step. It's probably like, I don't know, people are going to buy it. Oh my God, no, I don't think so. Like
100%.
So now,
such good. That's so
yeah.
true. Do you do coaching, right? You do like in Spanish.
I don't know if it's coaching, but I gave some free stuff, for example, but I have my technique, I sell too, So I put up, it's in Spanish though, and my theory is about, for example, the tres fases, it's for free. The book is not free, but the theory is on YouTube for free. And then I have the other theory, that's the art of protect yourself.
Right.
Like once you get to the point where, once you get where you want to be, once you are who you are, like who you wanted to be, then you have to make sure you know this theory of protect yourself before they'll take you down.
Mm-hmm.
Because you can be really good at getting where you want, but then after that, there's people that actually... How there is people that keeps growing to the point like The Rock? Because when The Rock was a WWE, only a WWE, he could stay there, or he could actually get... How many WWE players and not like wrestlers you forgot? Like we don't even talk about them anymore.
Totally.
But he continued growing. So once you get where you need to understand what to do in order to protect yourself, your figure, what you say, what you speak, but also who you surround yourself with. Being extremely disagreeable, it's something that you extremely need. If
100%.
you're agreeable and you're like up, they'll take you down in a minute.
100%, bro. It's interesting because we're talking about Brad Lee, right? You should watch the one. I really want to hear your thoughts on the episode I did with him, because I didn't even ask him so much business advice. Him and I ended up having like a debate a lot of the time. And here's the thing, we didn't really disagree. I was just really trying to understand what he meant by a few of the things he said on his channel, on his Instagram. So he was talking about patience, and he was saying how like you can't have patience. You need to do everything right away. You need to get aggressive and angry about whatever it is you're doing. And I hear him on that. But he was saying how like you can't have this thought of things are going to take time. And as much as I hear him out, as much as you want stuff to happen fucking right now, and you should do whatever you can to get there, it doesn't mean that that's how it's going to work out. And I understood what he meant, but I think a lot of people, and people are people, and they're going to misconstrue shit, and that's on them. But to say that you shouldn't have any patience, he understands patience as meaning like you should just let shit happen, be stoic, and like, okay, if it takes 10 years, fine. I don't see it that way, but at the same time, I'm not going to get mad at myself if I don't make $1 million tomorrow. It could happen. I believe it could happen, but the likelihood is there's probably more of a chance it won't than it will. So I'm not negative about it. It's just that those are the odds. You know what I mean? But I welcome it with open arms. I have faith, and I'm working towards it, and you know what I'm saying? So that's all it was. So we were like kind of going back and forth about that. And then I don't know if you ever saw his video on somebody slapping his woman's ass. Did you ever see that one?
No.
He gave like a theoretical example, and he said if I'm at a bar or a club and I'm with my woman and someone slaps her ass, it's smarter for me to just walk away because we can get into a fight. He might have a weapon. I might kill him, yada, yada. It's smarter for me to just walk away, and that's it. And a bunch of people were commenting. I left a comment, like a whole long comment. and I wanted to know, and I on my podcast I had to ask him because I had to put it to rest. I was like, would you actually walk away if somebody like really gave your woman a good smack on the ass? Like, you would just walk away? And he's like, yeah, well, think about it. You know, you have a lot to lose. Anything could happen. And I was like, yeah, bro, but imagine, you know, now your woman feels this burning feeling on her ass because some other man just slapped it, and nothing's gonna happen to him. Like, you're not gonna do anything. And he eventually admitted that he would do something. Maybe he just didn't want to feel like a pussy, but he's like, yeah, a bunch of people thought I was a pussy. And I was like, yeah, I kind of did too, honestly. You know, that's what I said to him, you know? And, you know, my perspective on that is, of course, there's a risk, bro. You know, especially if you're worth however much he's worth, 100 million, 200 million, maybe more, maybe less. You're worth a lot of money. You're in the spotlight. You're well known. You know, next thing you need is for the news, the local news in Vegas, to be putting him on the front page, like, you know, Brad Lee punches some guy in the face, puts him in the hospital, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, I mean, your reputation is on the line to some degree, but Brad Lee isn't exactly a soft, not, you know what I'm saying? Like, he can handle some pressure. So it's like, my feeling is I wouldn't be able to control myself. Like, if somebody slaps my wife's ass or my girlfriend's ass and he's just standing there smiling, dude, he's got to get something, bro. Because my wife needs to know that I'm going to stand up for her. And also on a deeper level, bro, I'm just not going to tolerate that. So if I get screwed for it, if I get arrested for it, I'm willing to take that chance, bro. The likelihood of me killing the guy is very low. I'm not going to fucking actively try to kill the dude. I'm not out of my mind.
Yeah, but you don't know if he will try to kill you.
Listen, of course there's a chance, but I don't think it's so likely. I think it's pretty slim. Of course it could happen, but I doubt it. I doubt it. It depends where it is. If it's in a dark alley and there's 3 guys and I know one of them has a weapon, or there's a nice chance, even if I'm outnumbered like that, it's probably a bad idea. But
right.
I feel like I would at least try to say something. And if not. But it's
or maybe call the cops and then tell he's a sexual abuse.
Maybe it's circumstantial, bro, but what do you think you would do in that situation at a bar? You think you would just straight up walk away?
No, I never walk away.
Right.
Never.
Right. So what do you think you would do?
I prefer to get beat up than walk away.
That's my thought.
But that's who I am, you know?
That's me. That's what I'm saying, though. Like, if the guy is 6'4", 300 pounds, literally double my size.
Fuck it. I'm
going to fight him anyway, bro.
Yes.
I might get my ass kicked.
Yeah, but
at least my wife knows that I'm willing to fight a dude double my size and do whatever it takes. Because what if she's really in danger? What if somebody breaks into our house and I'm like, shh, let's just hide in the closet. Everything's gonna be okay.
Right.
I'll call the cops. You know?
No, in that situation,
in the house.
You should have a gun, though.
Of course, I'm gonna have a gun.
You have guns here?
Yeah. I have one here, one in my car.
True.
Of course I'm gonna have of course I'm gonna go out there with if I have a rifle's not needed, but a handgun for sure, whatever it is. Are you kidding me? Of course. Not even a question. My wife, someone breaks into my house, my wife doesn't have to worry for a second, bro. The gun's coming out, I'm dealing with it. I'm gonna make sure she stays in her room or goes somewhere safe, make sure the kids, I'll quietly tell her, hey, take the kids there, blah, 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 go in there, wait for me, blah, 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 and don't make a sound. I would even tell her to put tape around my kids' mouths just to make sure they don't scream, seriously.
Right.
And that's it. And do what I gotta do, but the whole idea is just not doing anything. I get what he's saying. It's not that he's wrong. It's just that I could never do that sort of thing.
Right.
So we talked about that, and we're going to talk about a few other things, but I definitely want to hear your feedback on it. Even if you're just driving and listen to it, I want to hear your thoughts.
I will.
But yeah, I did want to talk about more business conversation, like ask him how he's built his companies, ask him how he's made his money, and I hope he did say he'd come on for another one, so God willing, we'll do that at some point. But back to you, bro. In terms of so now you've had all these stores, you have your real estate. What were some other challenges that you've experienced along the way, from where you are, from then until now?
No, I think it was just that, man. It was just having everything and having nothing, And it first came with appreciating small stuff, a family that they're friends of mine, invited me to a really simple dinner at their house, and it was really simple, really humble, humble family.
Mm-hmm.
And dude, I had so much fun. I was really enjoying the moment, and I knew the people were pure, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And I was coming from this time when if it's not a big titty waitress bringing my champagne bottle
By the
with
way, bro,
sparkles.
I love how you say titty.
Yes. If it's not like that, then I'm not enjoying, you know. And it went really like, it was really like that, bro. If I'm not spending money and like, I'm not enjoying. Like it has to be like big, you know, always. And I used to do that every single day.
So what changed? Because I mentioned on Brad Lee's podcast, you said that too. Like you were so focused on flexing and letting everyone know you were wealthy and successful. It was like this macho thing, and then something changed where you said, "This is not important anymore." Like you like nice things, but it's not the be all end all of your life. So
I think when I had a panic attack, I understood that. Okay, this is rock bottom.
What was the panic attack like, bro? You literally thought you were dying, like you were in your house and you started your heart.
I was in Houston, 14-bedroom house by myself. Okay, huge crib by myself, and then I started feeling my heart rate was going up, and then my chest was like painful. And then I said, okay, I'm just gonna go to sleep, and I'll feel better in the morning. But then I said, you know, you learn in the army that when you think you're in risk, or, you know, you cannot go to sleep at all, you know, because you may not wake up, you know. Then I started feeling, and then I started like imagining, oh yeah, like it could be like a heart attack or something. I could have like arrhythmia or something, you know.
You didn't want to go to sleep. You didn't risk it.
And if I go to sleep, I may not wake up. So then I stood up. And then I said, okay, what do I do? Like, this is, you know, I started like, okay, this is serious, you know. And then I said, I'll go to sleep, whatever. So I was about to sleep. It's weird, man. I had like not post-trauma, but I had like my commander, like, call the ambulance right now. Like, you're not going to wake up like that. You know, I imagine
Really?
that. Yeah. And then I like woke up and called the ambulance and said, hey, I'm dying. Can you please come?
You said I'm dying?
Yeah. It's like, what do you have? Yeah, I think my heart stopped. I think I'm having a heart attack.
Why was it that intense? It's just what came to mind? Yeah, okay.
I don't know, man. And it was really bad. And then I started saying like, okay, I'm going to die in a 14-bedroom house in the middle of Houston with no family. At 27 years old.
Oh my god.
Rich as fuck, but by myself.
Wait, 27?
Yeah.
This was recent?
Oh, 26 last year. Probably.
Okay.
Yeah. So then I start saying like, wow, look all what I've been through, everything I did in my life, and now I'm dying by myself in a huge crib.
Yeah, it's fucking a sad way to go out, yeah.
You know? So, you know, I had 1% battery, and I said, fuck. You know, I'm calling 911. I had 1% battery, and like this shit is about to die. So I have to charge my phone. So I'm gonna keep speaking to 911 here.
Mm-hmm.
But if I may die here, the ambulance doesn't have. Now they're gonna have to call the firefighters to actually breach the door and get in, and they need probably a warrant or something, right, to get in the house. I don't know.
Yeah.
Like, and if I really get the heart attack right now, if this is what it is, then it's a bad decision to actually stay in the house. So
right.
I told them I have 1%. I'm walking outside. It was freezing, I remember. So I walk outside, and I tell them, hey, I'm going to be outside because I don't want to be in. Because, you know, maybe bro, if something happens and you're inside the house and they cannot open the door, like, you're dead, you know?
Well, why not just leave the door open?
Yeah, but then where is the room? Like, where do they know?
Yeah,
you know?
you just want to make it easy to find you.
Yeah, so I just went to the street. And then they came.
Were you like lying on the ground? What were you doing?
No, I was like standing like this. My heart was really. And then the ambulance came, and then they like, hey, what's wrong? I said, I'm dying. Please, like, I don't know. And then they checked my blood, everything, you know, my heart. They connected machines, and they told me like, bro, you're right. You have an amazing heart rate. I don't know what you're talking about. It's like, what you're talking? I'm dying, you stupid asshole, you. And I start like yelling at them like, didn't you go to school for this? Like, don't you understand I'm dying? You know, I'm really dying, motherfucker. And I'm starting like, whatever. They took me to, and then I said, okay, after all this episode, you know, I went back home and I thought, wow, like,
Did you even go to the hospital? They took you?
yeah, it took me, and I was there for a few hours, and then I said, fuck this, and, you know, I'm okay. But then I went home, and I said, like, okay, it was clearly a panic attack. It never happened to me in the past. I've seen death with my eyes. I shoot people. My friends died in the army, and now I'm having a panic attack because I got money and I think I'm lonely. No, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, what the fuck is this? What's wrong with this? And then I figured out, like, okay, it was a panic attack. I wasn't really dying, but I really felt I was dying. I said, this is my last moment in my life. And I told myself, do I really want to die this way? Like, I have everything, but I have nothing. So then that's when I say I have to appreciate small stuff, you know? Move back to Miami, small apartment, don't give a fuck. I still have my Porsche, you know, stuff like that, but I'm more humble now, you know? I'm not like trying to...
So wait, so now you just have one car, or you still have a few?
No, I have one Porsche.
That's it?
Yeah.
You got rid of the Lambo, the
everything.
McLaren, everything?
I had 2 Rolls Royce in that time.
Holy shit, bro.
Yeah.
Damn. 2?
2 Rolls Royce, 1 McLaren, Lamborghini Urus.
Damn, dude.
Yeah.
Fuck. That's crazy. That's insane.
So now I'm just like this, you know?
Yeah, I wouldn't buy... Yeah, personally, even if I had the money to do it, it's like a Rolls Royce is like such a flex, bro. It's so... Because it's like in your 20s, you're rolling around in that car, it's like... Damn. Because then it's like really hard to gauge who likes you, like who really is there for you and who isn't, bro.
It's a problem.
Because like even
you
women,
complain like
women,
oh, everybody's here because my money, but like, yeah, that's why you're showing, motherfucker. Like,
that's what you're asking for.
That's why, like, hey, what do you... People think like, oh, I get the Lambo, I get the bitches. No, you won't get girls with the Lambo. You will get hookers.
Yeah.
Or hoes, because they'll think they'll get money from you.
Correct.
If you can get a nice girl with a Lambo, but it will just be the conversation.
Conversation.
It will be the conversation starter.
Yeah.
That's it.
100%.
But if you're a stupid asshole, like, only a hooker will be with you, like
100%.
Because they think they're gonna get money from you. Oh, he's rich, but a nice girl would like to a man also maybe with a Lambo, but it's only a conversation starter.
I do think
like, oh, that's your car. Yes, but you know, I think I rather like, yeah, it's my car, but if you marry me and divorce me, you will get half, whatever, you know, like
something clever.
Instead of like, yeah, I have money. You want a champagne?
Yeah, it's a Porsche. I think even a Porsche is a very nice car, but it's not too crazy. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah, I have money, but I'm humble.
I don't know about humble because it's still at top of the level car.
Bro,
but it's
Porsche is
not
not a fucking Rolls Royce, man. It's
yeah,
not
of
fucking
of course not.
Ferrari.
Of course not. Of course not.
It's a circle car. You know, I call it circle because it's like everything is like rounded. It's not like aggressive.
Let's not say it's not a nice car, bro. It's still a beautiful
yeah, it's
car.
nice, but it's the
you
Porsche.
still have a lot of cars lower than that car. You know, it's in the middle in terms of.
It's alright.
Fucking chill, bro. Thinking of like a Porsche is nothing. It's still a beautiful car.
But anyways, what else?
What else? Well,
we can talk about
your army experience.
Yeah.
You definitely but you get that. You definitely look like you just came from Ramallah.
Oh, my beard.
You got a little bit of a beard. So you draft, and you go into. Obviously, you had to go through paratroopers. You go into the training. What made you decide Duvdevan, though?
I really wanted to be either Matkal or Duvdevan. That was my goal.
Well, they're quite different.
So I did Gibush Matkal.
Okay.
The tryouts for Matkal.
Mm-hmm.
I passed them, actually. I did the 5 days, and I got actually a draft date to Sayeret Matkal.
Really?
Yeah. And then after the Gibush, I did 3 things. One was psychologic.
Uh-huh.
Another one was security background. And another one is Yarpa. It's a more advanced security health check. Not the basic one. So they do a little bit more research on your health, a little bit more research on your background, and a little bit more research of your like psychology, right?
Mm-hmm.
And after those 3 things, I had a draft date. I was on the waiting list, they told me. So apparently maybe my background check or something there, maybe I was too crazy. They told me at the end I'm not drafting there. So then they gave me interviews for other special units, you know. The problem is that they gave me interviews for Maglan, for Egos, another, you know, special units. And I wanted to do the van. And they told me, like, you have to do Gibush for the van. What do you mean Gibush? I had a draft date for Matkal. And they told us, like, it told me, like, yeah, but that's what it is. Like, you need to go Gibush. And I said, I'm not doing a Gibush. Like, I did 859 emails. I did everything, and it didn't work. I said, this is stupid. Like, another Gibush.
That's ridiculous. You passed the harder one. Why do you have to go? Yeah.
And the stupid thing is, like, if I will, like, pass, let's say I passed Matkal, which I did, draft, and then fall, like, not complete the maslul or the, you know, the training, then I can go to do the van. But it's the same thing, just because I didn't draft before. So I had to do I had to cancel my right to special unit interviews, cancel it, and do the Gibush for the van. And I said, fuck it, I already risked it, I'm gonna risk it twice. And I did it. The problem is that the first day I turned my my ankle, I turned it, and it was huge. I'll send you a picture. Huge and purple. And they wanted to kick me out.
How did it happen? How'd that happen?
Running, yeah. Okay. And they wanted to kick me out, and they tried, but I just didn't let them, and I continue. And I was doing everything last, but they knew I was extremely hurt. And then the last day, I start being first. And then the guy
with the injury.
Yeah, and then the guy comes and, like, tells me, like, bro, like, you're gonna die, like, your uncle, like, you're not in a good shape.
Yeah.
Sit down. When they told me sit down, I knew I passed, because nobody comes and tell you, like, just sit down. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, they knew they just wanted to keep me. You know, like, you're fine, bro. Like, just sit down. And of course, I didn't sit down, and I continue, and you know, I finished, and it was good. It was.
But your leg was fucked up.
Yeah, but I knew I used it as my advantage. Like, look, I'm still doing it with my turn ankle. You know. So we started 25. You know, long training, 11 weeks of navigation. You have anti-terror course. You have all kind of shootings, Arabic. You have many stuff. And then we finished 16. Well, then we started doing missions. And the last year was pretty rough. I had 2 surgeries in my left knee. So I had to stop fighting. I couldn't continue fighting, because then now I have serious stuff in my left knee for the rest of my life.
What happened to your knee?
My meniscus. I had 2 surgeries.
But from the army?
Yeah.
What happened?
Overcharging, like, walking with overweight and stuff like that. And the problem is that in order to get recognized as army disabled, you cannot continue fighting. You have to do, like, paperwork. So I did all that paperwork so they can recognize my injury and pay me if I need surgery or stuff like that, which I will need in the future. And so I finished as an Arabic teacher. My last 3 months of army service were as an Arabic teacher.
Mm-hmm. Really?
Yeah, and that's how I finished my army service.
So, but how did you learn Arabic so quickly?
So during the Maslul, the training, you have a year and a half of actually Arabic classes. And
everyone in Duvdevan learns it?
Everybody learns, but not everybody learns the deepest part and goes undercover and do that, you know. You have many tasks in the unit, you know.
Okay.
And yeah, I think I'm good at languages. That's it. And I also, when I had my first surgery, I wanted to come back and not come back like, oh, this is the kid that came back from a surgery. He's injured. We're gonna, you know. I wanted to show that, listen, I'm a fucking motherfucker. I'm the baddest here. So when I had crutches, I couldn't work out. But I paid from my own pocket. I paid an Arabic private teacher in Israel. So I wasn't in the unit. I was, you know, home. But at least I was working on my Arabic. So I came back. I was like one of the best.
Wow.
Yeah. So when I came back from my injury, it's not that, oh, he comes back from an injury. It's like, oh, bro, did you hear him? How he's speaking now? He's speaking better than us. You know what I'm saying? Wow. That's what I wanted to show.
Did you guys speak a lot on base together in Arabic? Like, was that common?
Yeah, I mean, we like to speak. You know, whoever also reads and writes, we always do. You know.
Mm-hmm.
It's nice.
You still speak it at all or no? Or you
Honestly, not really.
Did you lose a
but
lot of it?
I like it. Sometimes I have days that I only listen to Arabic, and I have some Palestinian friends. I speak to them. I have Druzi friends. I speak to them in Arabic. Just to, my teacher too, just to keep it.
Right. Okay.
That's what I do.
Where were you? Where were you
Well-
located? Which part? Where'd they keep you?
West Bank. Duvdevan operates in the West Bank.
That's where I was.
Yeah,
too. Which
in
parts?
Gaza, Duvdevan cannot operate. It's a different accent. It's a different kind of missions that you can do there. There was Shimshon. Shimshon was undercover like Duvdevan, but in Gaza, and they closed it in 2005 when they actually gave Gaza to Palestinians.
Shimshon was undercover. I thought because they're just a regular unit in.
Well, Shimshon was a special unit.
Uh-huh.
And then when they closed it in 2005, because they gave Gaza to Palestinians, so you cannot do undercover missions on a land that you actually gave it to them, right? So they, instead of closing the unit, they created a regular platoon name under respect, Shimshon, and now it's in the Kfir Brigade, but it's not a special unit.
Right. Okay, gotcha. I didn't know Shimshon. I was ever okay.
Yeah. Actually in Fauda, you have people like Tzahi Alevi, is the guy that fucked Liorra's wife.
Yeah.
Well, he was in Shimshon, and then when Shimshon closed, they transferred him to Duvdevan.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Okay, I didn't know that.
Many people got transferred to Duvdevan. Yeah, but Gaza, it's a different accent. It's Bedouin, It's darker people. It's different accent. For example, coffee, kahwe in Arabic, kahwe. Some cities they'll say ahwe, or sometimes they'll say kahwe, sometimes kahwe, ka. Now, Bedouins, people from the desert, they speak with gahawe,
Right.
It's different accent, but
Different dialects, yeah.
yeah. So that's why they couldn't transfer just the unit. Like, hey, well, let's do Bedouin undercover in West Bank. It doesn't look right,
Right.
It's not properly.
It's different. I understand. Okay, so fair enough. So, how much more time do you feel you have right now?
Like nothing.
Okay, let me let you go, bro. Dude, I definitely would.
But it
like
was
to-
good. I can come back too if you want.
Yeah. We'll do it another time for sure. Mauro, thank you. Thank you for joining me, bro. It was really a pleasure having
What you mean? No, it's my pleasure.
Yeah. Guys, I hope you enjoyed. Make sure to subscribe if you have not, because I know a lot of you guys are watching and not subscribing. Make sure to subscribe. Smash the like button. Follow Mauro on all of his accounts. Check out his book, Tres Phases on Amazon.
Yeah.
You can buy it now. Go give it a purchase, and we will see you next time.